Hello, you wonderful people. Welcome to my channel. And with that, let's proceed with today's video and why you all are here. So here's what you're going to need for the extent of this video. You're going to go ahead and pick the hook you're going to use, measuring tape, the scissors, and a needle, since we will be sewing in the ends, as well as the ball of yarn that you're going to use for your project today. So since we are working with the headband, you're going to want to go ahead and measure over your ears, since it's meant to go over your ears to keep them warm. So when I went ahead and did the measurement, I got exactly 21 inches. I'm probably going to go ahead and take off about ½ an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, and we'll see how it turns out. So now that you've taken the measurement around your head, over your ears, we're going to go ahead and create our starting chain here. You're going to want to go ahead and make it just as long as what you measured. So we're going to go ahead and create our starting loop there, put our needle through, and to go ahead and begin a starting chain, you're going to go ahead and do yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So once you have that, continue working on your starting chain so that it equals the number of inches you measured. Feel free to pause the video here. I'm going to go ahead and create that starting chain and we'll meet back then. So one thing I do want to mention is you have to remember how stretchy your yarn is, right? So even though I measured, let's say for example, I measured 21 for my head circumference, I guess you could say. It's actually turning out to be, without me stretching it, turns out to be at about 18.5 inches, right? So do make sure to check the starting chain you created around your actual head, over your ears. You do want it to be somewhat tight, but not too tight. So just kind of gauge it that way. But here it is, our starting chain, to go ahead and continue with our ear warmer headband. Okie doke. So once you have your loop all done, we're gonna go ahead and insert our hook right into that loop right there. I usually wrap it around my index finger twice so we have a little bit of tension. And then you're not gonna see how there's those chain stitches. You're not gonna put it in the first or the second. You're gonna go ahead and insert your hook right into that third stitch right there. So for a half double crochet, we're gonna go ahead and do yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Again, yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So you're going to go ahead and continue that all the way till you reach the end of your chain, and then we'll go ahead and meet up then. Okay, so we've reached that last stitch right there. We're gonna go ahead and do yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Then to continue on, we're gonna go ahead and just chain 1, like so. Flip our work around, and then what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna insert our hook right in there. You're gonna grab those 2 loops here. So that's the one you change. You want to get these 2 loops here, yarn over, insert your hook right in that little hole there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. We're going to go ahead and continue inserting our hook and doing the yarn over, pulling through all 3, and you're going to go ahead and continue on. We'll go ahead and meet up at the end of 7 rows and see how thick that is, whether we're going to have to increase more to make it thicker. We can always check in then. Okay, so we got to the end of that 2nd row. So we're going to go ahead and do yarn over. Make sure you grab those 2 loops right there. So sometimes it could be a little hard to see, but you should be able to see those 2 loops at the end of every row. So that's what you're going to go ahead and do a yarn over. You're going to go ahead and pick up both loops, right? So I went ahead and grabbed both loops, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So just make sure at the end of each row you go ahead and grab those 2 loops, and it should look a little something like this on that edge there. Don't forget to chain 1, and then go ahead and continue your last remaining 6 rows from here. Okie doke, so we've reached that last stitch here. So we're going to go ahead and do that yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Right, we're going to chain 1 for good measure. Now I ended up making 9 rows versus those 7, so you have the 9 plus your foundation chain, right? So once you go ahead and chain your 1, you're going to go ahead and just cut a good amount. So the amount you're going to cut is the amount you're going to sew in here at the end. So make sure you get, you know, a good amount of yarn. I'm going to go ahead and go with this little pile here. Go ahead and cut that there. And then right here, you're just going to go ahead and pull it through just so you can create that knot at the end of that row so it doesn't get undone. We're going to go ahead and grab our needle, grab that end of that long piece we just cut, go ahead and get it through. And then you're going to go ahead and grab the ends here, these ends, and we're going to go ahead and do outer, inner, middle, outer. So you're going to have something like that, okay? And then once you have that, make sure they're kind of even, perfect, half there, half there. You're going to go ahead and take your needle and you're just going to start sewing the ends. So let's grab this last stitch here, this stitch here, and the corner of the one that we put right in the middle. You're going to go ahead and continue just grabbing them just like that, passing the needle through. Make sure you get it all the way through, and then you're going to go ahead and do the same thing. Go ahead and grab a loop here, grab a loop in that middle one, grab a loop on this one, and then grab a loop on this one. And then you're just going to keep sewing it in like this till you go all the way across. Make sure you get the edges of both these middle ones and these outer ones. I usually do 2 passes through and we'll see how it looks from there. Okie doke, so I'm getting to that last pass here. I'm going to go ahead and grab that corner, push it through, get that inner corner, push it through, and then have it come out on the other end just like that. Go ahead and pull your needle out, right? So you're going to end up having it done. You did those 2 pass-throughs. So when you go ahead and flip it over, you should now have a cute little bow that looks like that. We are going to tuck in the ends as well, so stay tuned for that. So now we're going to go ahead and sew in the ends that we were using to sew in this middle part here. Pretty much going to sew them into these stitches here that you see right here. So I'm going to go ahead and go under, grab those 2 loops, and just keep grabbing the loops like so. I don't know if you can see them, but see how I'm grabbing 2 loops at a time? Yeah, just go ahead and grab those 2 loops, going all the way down. I like to grab just enough where my needle just disappears under all of that like that. Push through, pull through, and then you're gonna go ahead and just pull it all through like so, and that should keep that stitch in place. We're gonna just go ahead and snip that end there, and then we also have the one on this side, right? So we're gonna go ahead and grab it this way here. There we go. So now that it's on this side, you're gonna do the same thing, right? So that's the reason I kind of leave the ends a little bit longer sometimes, just so I can make sure they're long enough to sew in. We did knot this one at the end, so it shouldn't slip, but just in case, I do like to sew in the ends just to secure the hold. So here, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Pull it through there, through here, that stitch, and then I'm gonna go ahead and still grab those 2 there, slide it down, grab a good set of stitches here just to make sure it's going to be secure, and then pull it through. Snip, snip. Then you're going to go ahead and flip it over, and there you go. It is your ear warmer in the shape of a headband. These make really, really cute gifts, I think, and they're very versatile. You can also make them in different patterns, but this was just a half double crochet for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more videos, please do me the biggest favor by liking or subscribing down below. Have an amazing, amazing day. Bye.